what is turning out to be a very nice Tuesday with the sun out, blue sky. Yep. Yep. All right. Now, we are now live right now. We are underway. Yep. No one can deny it. Louis Tion has passed away. I should mention that. I will mention that actually. Yep. All right, folks. 102. Give you some reminders. First of all, last night, that was quite the scene. Once again, good afternoon, one and all. Yes. Is it true you were first on the scene? That is true. Hey, it's because of the Road Patrol Command Center, without question. It just is. Whenever we're going live with Road Patrol, I don't know what to tell you. Why do these people? The next person that puts what happened is getting blocked. What does it tell you? I don't know. We don't know. We capture things in real time as they happen. That's what we do. By the way, it's T-shirt Tuesday in the shop. Great merchandise. I got to start holding some of it up. It's next on my list. There we go. All right. Now, a couple Whoop. Damn it. We're live. Lost the connection. Yes. All right, let me get that back. It can sometimes be a little tentative, but we have it. There we go. All right, nice and clean. Nice and clean. 103 on this Tuesday, October 8th. Real news coming up in 3 minutes. Now, yes, we're good, JR. I'll monitor that. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's Russian hackers that are trying to hack in unknown. Couple of reminders, folks. Don't forget about Mosquito Joe. What a company. Unbelievable. Mosquito Joe, Rhode Island provides mosquito control services, residential, commercial customers. I share their Facebook page. It's one of the most impressive companies that I've met and dealt with. Mosquito Joe of Rhode Island. They're fantastic. That's number one. Number two, when you hear about all these storms, and it is really interesting what's happening right now in Tampa. I obviously have, family down there, immediate family down there. They're making their way out of there, but we will touch on that. But it doesn't mean these storms can't make their way north. JD's Lawn Care Tree Service. Get your trees trimmed, for crying out loud. 401-441-0154, JD Tree Service. Also, why not get that? It's a great thing to do this time of year. Get your driveway paved. J. Perry Paving, letter J. J. Perry Paving. 401-732-1730. That's also a great gift for your parents or your grandparents or your son or daughter. J. Perry Paving. 401-732-1730. High quality, fair pricing, exceptional service. They do it all. Letter J. J. Perry Paving. Free estimate. If you're a business owner, people judge you by your parking lot. J. Perry Paving. 401-732-1730. Now, we're going to be live on the radio in just a moment, but I also want to, don't forget about Valari Motors, Park Avenue in Cranston. Quality pre-owned vehicles, largest selection of Volvos, Rhode Island. Stop in. It's also safe vehicles. And see my friend Paul at Valari Motors. Or just pop in and say hello to him. He's a great guy. All right, we are live in just a moment. That was quite the road patrol last night. Will we be out tonight? What do you think? I mean, of course, this is crime weather. This is our season. And there we go. at 106 on this Tuesday, October 8th. Look at that blue sky, nice sunshine, folks. This is the real news. Yes, it is. You know why and just like that, hold on, our connections are fine, but suddenly we conk out, and I don't know exactly why, but I'm going to reconnect right now. We were just totally fine. And then there we are, and we're back. I'm not exactly sure. We'll watch it. Could be a glitch, but right now at 106 on this Tuesday, this is the real news, folks. AM 1380, 99.9 FM. Now I get asked, can you listen online at the website depetro.com? That's a true statement. Now, right now, as we speak, we are also live. Yes, that's true. We're live on our Facebook page, John DePetro Show. Look at that. There's Melissa checking in. Now, we're also live on X, which is also a great platform for us. And then we are also live. There's Catherine on. We're also live on YouTube during this time. And I'm getting a lot of requests from those on TikTok. I think that may be a project for 2025. I think it may be I'm not positive. Obviously, a lot of growth there as we continue to grow all of our platforms. I'm not ruling it out, but it's like one thing at a time, folks. This portion of our program, the Real News. Don't forget PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown, and they have homegrown mums and kale are outstanding this year. Sizes 4-inch, 12-inch pots, ornamental peppers, everything you need for all your fall decorations and more. Pumpkins, straw bales, corn stalks, gourds, Indian corn, native vegetables. Fall, this is the ideal time to plant. Look at this nice sunny day, and you don't need as much watering. Mulch, loam, crushed stone, always available, pickup and delivery. It's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Now, check out depetro.com. I'll go there with you. Kind of a guide. Now we have our online shop where you can get great merchandise. Maybe you say, I'd like this whole concept. He's live. He beats the rest of the media to the scene like last night, which even I was surprised at. Nice of Channel 12 to show up an hour later. 10 was in second place last night. Got there about 10 minutes after we were there, around there. Channel 6 showed up fashionably late, around 8 o'clock, although I do like those guys. And then Channel 12 made a nice cameo at 8:30. Meanwhile, we came in rolling heavy at 7:20, setting the tone, only because I had been in Smithfield exploring that there were 3 arrested on Route 44, Putnam Pike. I do have the video up. I'll follow up with the police. We can't be everywhere. But anyhow, if you log on to depetro.com, and that was pretty amazing last night. If you see the footage, and we do have it up on the website, depetro.com. Road Patrol shooting in Providence. That's what happened. Road Patrol Cranston stabbing Saturday night. That was pretty good when the mother, someone in the house, I don't know who it was, given the chosen one, the table for one salute, or the we're number one. We have the Pawtucket animal cruelty story. Those goons. We have Road Patrol Friday night between the standoff in Cranston and then the train tracks. We also have the video of the son that strangled the mother in Narragansett. Boy, good thing crime's down. It's a happening. It's all at depetro.com, which is brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. As I like to say, lunch, dinner, drinks with Anthony Santos in the lounge. They also have the market at Coesit. And one of the other things I mentioned about the Coesit Inn, they're open 7 days a week. They're always altering, changing, upgrading their menu. They try different items. I love the risotto. They have a great large bar area. What I like about the Coesit Inn is, keep in mind, they've been around for a while, and it's a very large space that they have. They do such a great job since 1977, and it's very spacious. I don't like people like breathing on me as I'm trying to enjoy some booze, a cocktail. I don't need to hear the sound of someone else consuming food. Actually, I don't like the sound of someone else consuming food. So therefore, what I like about the Cowesett, it's nice and spacious, and you spread out, and you don't have people on top of you. Even though when I do go in, sometimes people tend to then want to sit right next to me. But anyhow, but there's room for me to get up and move. It's like a large beach area. I'd go to Bonnet Shores, get there early in the morning, nice spot way down to the right, and begin a succession of, if it was a day off and I was at the beach, easily start drinking at like 10:30 in the morning, sometimes 10 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 9:30 in the morning. But nonetheless, light up a nice cigar, and then someone on almost like on schedule would come and sit right next to me. And then one time, I mean, the beach is empty. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. So, I'm already on my second drink. I have a nice cigar lit. And this mother came with three kids. All kids were, the three of them were all obese. She was obese. And then walks over and says, if you don't mind, my kids, we don't like your cigar smoke. Lady, you could walk 100 yards in the other direction, not run into anybody. You came and sat next to me. Like, what exactly is your blanking problem? But anyhow, you can spread out at the Cowesett Inn. Listen, I'm a magnet. I attract them. It's the dog whistle. It's a gift, but at the same time, it's a burden. It is a cross to bear. Our Savior has given us. The good news is so many good people hear my voice and they're attracted to it. The bad news is every nut within 100 miles also hears the voice, and they're also attracted to it for whatever reason. The Cowesett Inn, 226 Cowesett Avenue in West Warwick. Now, before I talk about some of the news of the day, and admittedly, the news of the day is grim. Magritte is still on vacation, by the way. Can you imagine? Governor McKee is still on vacation. Now he's in Philadelphia. Now he's in Philadelphia at the National Governors Association. Instead of doing that, why not actually be? He was just at the meeting in Chicago in August. Now he's in Philadelphia. See, the thing about someone like Governor McKee, Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee, is he is the ultimate, and it's so provincial in small time. He is the ultimate. Hold on one moment. Again, I don't know what is going on where everything with our connection is fine as far as our online connection. And once again, let me just connect back. There we go. For some reason, we cut out again for whatever reason. All right, it's 1:14 on this Tuesday. And again, this is the real news at 1. Whatever reason, it cut out, but we're back. But Governor McKee is the ultimate, and it's so small time. If it's free, it's for me. You know that anytime he goes to these things, he's like, it's like the people that have never been to a trade show and they're stuffing their bag with like all the free things. So someone that's never been at an open bar, like, oh, wait a minute, and they're leaving, you go to whatever, a wedding or an event where it's an open bar and the drinks are, people leave drinks that are half full. Now, for some reason, again, I don't know why it just cut out, but I'm on it. And we keep there we go. And we reconnect. I don't know what it is. It's a little odd. Our connection online is fine. As far as right now, it is 1:15 on this Tuesday. And so we have a little bit, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but we'll monitor. But that's the thing. Right now, with everything going on, first of all, how about Biden with what's going to happen in Florida? Florida, this is a very serious storm. You can't deny that the Gulf of Mexico, the water temperatures are rising, and as a result of that, thank you, JR. I mean, they're actually talking that they may have to increase the storm level to a Category 6 type of storm. Now, Category 3 is very powerful, and Category 4 is a monster storm. Category 5 is complete devastation. They're saying that this storm, Milton, and I do have family in the Tampa area. I know the Tampa area very, very well. I have a child that goes to school there, and I've spent quite a bit of time there, and it is flood prone. And many times, if you know the Tampa area, They in the afternoon, in the summertime, it'll pour rain for 15 minutes and cool everything off, and then the water dries up because it's so hot. But this is a very, very serious storm, and Harris is going out west, the VP, and it is she is an embarrassment, demanding Governor DeSantis return her call. She's not in the chain of command. She's not in charge of anything. She hasn't been in charge of anything for the past 3.5 years. The only thing that she was in charge of was the border. And we know, what she did with the border. But this is, and Governor McKee, there's a lot of people that have family in Florida. A lot of people of our area of Florida, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, there's a lot of people back and forth to Florida, but everything is Biden goes to the beach on vacation. So McKee feels, okay, that's what you do when you're in charge. You just take a lot of vacation. He's so small time. Right now, there's no reason for him to be at the National Governors Association meeting in Philadelphia. No one is bidding on the bridge. The traffic's getting worse. Now you have Hasbro is leaving. Hasbro, we found out, met with Boston executives, Massachusetts executives in April. McKee didn't know. They met for a second time in July. McKee didn't know. He had no clue until just a couple of weeks ago. Hasbro's leaving. CVS laying off 700 jobs. Thunder Mist, they're saying totally mismanaged. Governor McKee has completely dropped the ball. Whether you like it or not, when you're the governor, you have to oversee the state healthcare system and our infrastructure. The bridge is a mess. This Thunder Mist that has been totally mismanaged is saying we either need 8 million or we're going bankrupt. No, what does that tell you? It tells me that the 8 million is not going to make a difference. It's like throwing, just lighting the money on fire, for crying out loud. And then you have Lifespan, which is supposed to be a nonprofit, and you find out the CEO's walking away with 7 million, and the CEO at Lifespan is making more than the CEO at a Boston hospital. And all of this, as McKee decides to extend his vacation, what you're seeing right now to me is there's a pattern. One of the reasons why people are not sold on Vice President Harris, and that's why I hope you like our segment with Donna Perry, who is, has got such good insight. She's worked in the media. She worked on Capitol Hill. She worked in Washington for Rhode Island Congressman Ron Makeley, the last Republican to work in Washington. But Harris is not a serious person. You can tell people that are serious and you tell people that aren't serious, whether it's on a team, whether I'll bet if you're a parent and you've had one coach that coaches your children, and they're very serious about it and they approach it serious. By the way, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means the way they approach things. And then you have people that just kind of go through the motions a little bit and they're not that serious about it. And that can be any occupation. They could be a principal like that. They could be the head of a company like that. There are some people, they're not dialed in. And whether it's a player on a team or a coach or a teacher, in this instance, no president with everything going on would keep taking vacations and sit on the beach in Delaware. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the same thing with McKee and the same thing for Harris. They're not serious people. She's not serious. Governor DeSantis has to return her phone call. For what? She's picking the wrong battle. She's picking the wrong fight. I like him. He's a great governor. I mean, I think two of the best governors, some of the best governors right now in the country are Governor Abbott of Texas, Governor DeSantis of Florida, the governor of Virginia, Governor Youngkin. I mean, there are some real leaders out there, but McKee's not one of them. You don't just keep going on vacation as companies are bailing out of your state. What does that say to Hasbro? Oh, yeah, he's real concerned about it. What's the ask? And I also want to I want to commend the media outlets that don't give him a pass, such as Channel 12 doesn't give him a pass. Channel 10, they try to do an interview with him. He won't. He'll stand with Dan Janik for 5 minutes, try to run out the clock. Channel 12, he'll do the same thing with Kim Kalunian. 5 minutes, run out the clock. Won't sit down with the Boston Globe, talking about Governor McKee. Won't sit down with the Providence Journal. Where does he go? He goes where he's protected. He goes W. McKee RO. Why do they protect that stooge? It's not ask the governor, it's protect the governor. And his campaign surrogate is running the place in the afternoon. They only put him in a safe spot. They're trying to hide the scoreboard. The companies are making their way for the exits. CVS, 700 layoffs. I've heard it's actually going to be closer to 900. And then Governor McKee, they've told us they have no intention of leaving. Well, that's what the A's told Oakland. And where are they going to be playing next year? What do you think they're going to say to Governor McKee? Yeah, we are out of here. No. They're seeing, the grass isn't always greener. The grass is much greener. Who would want to deal with this incompetent stooge? He's not a serious person. And here's the thing about Governor McKee. I believe, because I hear from some of his allies, and he gets up every day and works so hard. But here's the problem. He's Mac Jones. I do believe Mac Jones was trying as hard as he could. He wasn't good enough, right? Governor McKee's Bailey Zappi. Yeah, I bet he did show up on time for practice, Bailey Zappi. And he would pay attention, go to the meetings, go to the weight room, do all those things. He didn't have it. That's McKee. I'll bet he does get up every day. I don't know about giving his hardest if he's not playing. Pork Boy down the dial said he's played golf with Governor McKee over 75 times. Who plays golf with anyone 75 times? To me, two guys that are playing golf, we've played golf over 75 times. That's two people. They're not getting a lot of work done. I'll tell you that much. Birds of a feather, right? Birds of a feather and the stooges flock together. Now, folks, this portion of the program is brought to you by AJ Home Improvement. Call them today, 401-323-9252. Frame to finish basements, acoustical ceilings, new homes, additions, commercial rehabs, painting, remodeling, they do it all. If you're thinking of improving your home or business, call them for a free quote. If you want to get your home painted, or you need some work done, or you have an unfinished basement, unfinished garage, they do incredible work with acoustical ceilings. AJ Home Improvement, give them a chance to pitch your business. 401-323-9252, 401-323-9252, AJ Home Improvement. Well, folks, good afternoon. This is The Real News at 124. I want to touch on last night. That was, if you missed it, if you didn't see it, we do have it on DePetro.com. We do have it, a number of videos loaded to our YouTube channel. I'm aware, not everybody's on Facebook. Okay, whatever. It's free, but if you log on, you can watch the videos on YouTube, which is totally fine. I cater to that crowd. But last night was another example of, we play, look at the difference. McKee's on vacation. Last night, once again, first one on the scene. We were there before the yellow tape went up. We will before. Forget about the newspapers and radio. Our competition, the way I have it, is our competition is the two dominant TV stations, 10 and 12. And last night was another example. Listen, I like the people that work there. I'm friendly with them at the scene. I see them at the different scenes. But it's a matter of who wants it more. And if you're going to prove your value, you're going to prove your worth, you got to deliver something that the others don't deliver. So, but I also believe it's not your imagination. Crime is, I know that some people say crime is down. Not if you watch what we're doing. There's more instances. People are, people are off. And as I've mentioned, Governor McKee is putting all of us in a very dangerous situation. Number one, by running a sanctuary state. I want to commend Patricia Morgan, who's running against Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. For the first time in the history of Rhode Island, she has a billboard up, first time ever, that mentions the border. Now, I would have been a little harder. She didn't ask me. I like her. She could have said, what would you put as a billboard? I would have said something. I would have said, Rhode Island should not be a sanctuary state. I would have put something like that. When we have her on, and I've had her on, and we'll have her on again, I've said that to me, all right, so she is a billboard. First time ever. Close the border. Vote Patricia Morgan, U.S. Senate. I like it. It's a good start. To me, and I've said, and I'm not trying to, this is not meant as a knock on her in any way. I like her. I respect her. I'm voting for her. We don't need Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. He doesn't do anything. But to me, the borders that we should be talking about are the borders from Woonsocket to Westerly, because we should be we should be the state that the illegals, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New England, we should be the state the illegals don't want to come into. We should be the state that's very tough on them. We should not have driving privileges. And as I have said, it's not your imagination about crime when you have, and as I've said, folks, and I want to be very clear, Governor McKee and Sabina Matos, the lieutenant governor, they're the two worst governors and lieutenant governors we've ever had. Not even close. I never thought. Governor McKee pulled the ultimate, as so many, and I was included. I thought, boy, we'll never see anyone as incompetent as Chafee. And then Governor McKee came along, and Governor McKee said, it's the ultimate hold my beer. Watch this. But the reason why, and I'm not just, you're so negative, because I hear for some of his people, you're so negative against the governor. I'll explain why. Number one, the bridge, he doesn't take serious. He's very dismissive. He doesn't want to deal with it. No one's been suspended. No one's lost their job. No one new has been brought into the equation. The status quo is complete insanity, which is unlivable traffic that is destroying quality of life and destroying businesses, not only in that area, it's spreading everywhere. But as I have said, with Governor McKee, why I say former, and I receive email, but, do you realize he lives in Cumberland and they can hear your program? Do you realize he was the mayor of Cumberland and we don't appreciate it? I'm just telling you. Number one, he upped Raimondo by giving the driving privileges to illegals. That was a game changer. That was a game changer of people to come into the state. As much as they don't want to admit that it was a game changer, the fact of the matter is it was a game changer of people coming in here. And he doesn't want to admit that, but it's absolutely true that was something, his decision, Governor McKee's decision. And again, folks, right now at 1:29 on this Tuesday, it is the John DePietro Show. His decision to do that makes us more attractive. It makes us more of a destination. It's more of a magnet. That and his approach with, we're going to set up these pallet shelters for the homeless. Governor McKee's message to homeless people was, you don't have to do a thing. We're going to give you free housing, and the taxpayers are going to take care of you. And as I've said, that is the equivalent. He's adopting adults. The state is adopting adults. You should not be in the business of adopting adults. As Christ said, give someone a fish, you feed them for a day. Teach them how to fish, you feed them for life. By just saying, now we're going to put you in a hotel. Now we're going to put you in the shelter. Now we're going to let you camp out at all these different places. He's not helping them. All he's doing is masking the problem. Governor McKee, all he's doing is masking the problem by not having, what should really be happening is, and as I have said, and again, folks, good afternoon. As I have said, any help for, quote, homeless should come with restrictions, should come with, what are you going to do? Should come with, you're going to show up to pick up litter. You're going to show up to rake leaves. You need to, go to this job. There are people that need workers. It should come with strings. It should not be that everything is free, because the people become very dependent on that. And then they feel like an infant. If you have a pet, what happens? The pet says, "Where's my food?" And the dog is barking and the dog's thirsty. And the dog can't feed itself. The dog can't turn on the faucet and get water. If you have an infant, the infant is crying. The infant is either A, hungry, B, has a burp, or 3, needs to be changed. The infant, a young child, is totally dependent on the parent, much like we have seniors, very dependent on people that will help them now that they're in their golden years and help them with food and medication and daily, bathing and things like that. When you say to people the way he has, "We're going to take care of everything, free housing for everybody, free food vouchers, free everything," they start to say, "Why should I do anything?" Because that's coming. But the reason I mention why I believe, my opinion, chosen one of worst governor, lieutenant governor, is the lawlessness that he's bringing into the state. He refuses to bring in any competent people, and/or now I've heard a lot of competent people don't want to work for him, which would make sense. But the thing is, this legalization of illicit drugs. How many overdoses are there? My God, as someone that's out there and dealing with the first responders, there's overdoses all over the place and bad batches. And Woonsocket, the Department of Health had to say, "Hey, be careful. There's a bad batch of H just hit the street. People are overdosing left and right." My God, the overdoses and the accidental, by the way. Someone says, "Oh, I got some pills. I'm going to take them tonight." And then boom, they don't realize that it's sprinkled with fentanyl. What he's about to enact and unleash on the state, it's going to be very detrimental to quality of life, family life. You're not helping people. For Governor McKee to say, "We're convinced that you can lead a productive life if you have a problem where you're using meth. We feel, you just want to make sure it's clean." But Governor McKee saying, I've seen the studies and I think you can live a productive life addicted to heroin." I don't believe that. That's false. That's poison. You're just helping them put poison in their body. Any area of the world that has tried what they're about to unleash on us, they've reversed it and said it didn't work the way we thought it did. It went the other way. And he's going to do that. That's why. So, because of the illegals, Patricia Morgan, it's a start. I will say the fact that she has a billboard that says "close the border," as I have talked about last fall, I was begging. Well, maybe begging is not the right word. I was strongly encouraging the Republican candidate who is facing Gabe Amo. I said, "Go after him. The fact that we're a sanctuary state, go after him on that." Nope. They said, "Well, we're going to wait to see if he does anything." Well, of course he's not going to do anything. Well, folks, good afternoon. This portion of our program is brought to you by Kids Club on the Pike. Now, if you have a child and you're planning, birthday party, before after school program, preschool programs, Kids Club on the Pike. I share their Facebook page. It's right on the Johnston-Cranston line. It is easy to get to, right off of 295. Kids Club on the Pike. Now you can find their Facebook page. It's also, their website is Kids Club on the Pike, kidsclubonthepikeri.com. And this is perfect for birthday party venue, before and after school care, preschool. Maybe you coach a team. You want to have the end of the year banquet somewhere. Kids Club on the Pike. They have all kinds of games. They have board games. They have dancing. They have a movie room. They have a room for little tiny, 2-year-olds can be safe. 3-year-olds could be safe, even younger. And then they have Xbox rooms for kids that may be 12, 11, 13. Kids Club on the Pike, where if you have a gathering, let's say right now you're coaching a youth soccer team, doesn't matter, boys or girls, and you want to have the end of the year, get all the kids together. Usually they give out little medals, have a little speech, have fun. Well, this way, it's not just, I've done that. You're in a pizza place, the kids want to run around. This way, you get a combination where they can have fun and then also have the meal and then give away all the little gifts you give, and everyone gives the coach a little gift. Kids Club on the Pike, and look for them on Facebook. Well, folks, good afternoon. Again, this is the Real News at 1. Yes, we will be doing Road Patrol Live later. We have our nice sign here at the Road Patrol headquarters. So, but I think what you're seeing between now and New Year's, there's a lot of crime. There's also a lot of anxiety, I think. I think there's anxiety around the election because both sides are so dug in, and both sides, no one's going to be happy. Well, neither side's going to be happy with the result. I am telling you, in order to straighten out the mess that Governor Healy and Governor McKee have created, I think the only help we're going to get is a disruptor in Washington, because Governor McKee has proven. I mean, he no wonder, as I've said, no wonder he likes Biden. But I just don't think. I think the clock is running out on Harris, and I think she made a mistake by attacking Governor DeSantis. I think that's the wrong person, and it's the arguments for the arguments for her, I don't think are resonating. I don't think they're resonating in the way that, let's face it. I think last night on 60 Minutes, when they talked about democracy and threat to democracy, I mean, I think 60 Minutes, you replaced the person that won the primary. You replaced the president. You took out the nominee who was the candidate, and you're lecturing the other side about democracy. That's where I think this thing really falls short. All right, I'm seeing this right now. Massachusetts Attorney General announces the state is suing TikTok. It alleges that Chinese social media giant designed to addict young users with lax safety restrictions, causing harm to young people mentally and emotionally. Yeah, and I'm sure all the cannabis shops at every corner are helping them. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, this is interesting. All right. Now, I've been out of pocket a little bit. Providence police seized narcotics at the home on Metcalf Street after initially responding for reports of shots fired. Man walked into Rhode Island hospital, gunshot wound, wouldn't cooperate with investigators. Boy, there's a surprise. See, that's another thing that they, I didn't know that. I'm seeing that Alexandra Leslie is just seeing that. Now, they may have sent it to me and I was busy on something else. Caller said they saw a white Toyota speed away from the scene. Police arrived, sweep of the home, apparent narcotics were observed. You saw all those kids in the video too. Okay. Oh, they got a police report. All right. Nice job by Target 12. Police seized 3 cell phones, $2,200 in cash, a wallet, plastic bags, 2 scales, 2 bags of suspected weed, 1 bag of white candy, if you know what I mean, another bag filled with multiple bags of crack. Officers also seized a Jordan shoebox. Why is that illegal? 1 man was detained and transported to the police department for questioning. We have that on video. After the apartment was secured, police found 3 spent shell casings outside and the slide to a firearm. On the street, a pool of blood was observed, blood droplets leading to the driveway where the caller stated the vehicle was parked. 3 children found in the home. They were taken in the custody of a family member for the night. We actually captured that last night when the grandmother came to get them. Police responded to the apartment. Police received a call about a man who walked into Rhode Island Hospital with a gunshot wound. He was uncooperative, provided officers with a different location. Investigations underway. Oh, no, I was shot downtown. Really? You were shot? Yeah, I was shot at Kennedy Plaza. Yeah, it was amazing. I got off the bus, and the next thing you know, I was shot. Now, you sure you weren't shot? No, I wasn't on Metcalf. I want to tell a quick home invasion story. So at 140, many times when there's a home invasion, this is a good, the perspective you get from doing road patrol. When there's a home invasion, the people, here's most of the time of a home invasion. So you have, let's just say there's someone and they're going to go to an apartment or a house, what have you. Not all the time, by the way, but many times. So what do they have? They have cash and they're looking to buy illicit drugs. So they go to the apartment and let's see the drugs, and they notice that the person disappears to the back bedroom and they come back with the drugs or what have you. And then so they present the money and then they get the drugs and they leave. Well, many times they then set up a scheme where they say, let's get both our drugs and the our money back. So they may do the transaction, but then after they leave, they now feel they have a lay of the land, so they go busting into the apartment, and many times the people there realize, okay, we're letting some people in here, we're doing some activity. So they hide it in the ceiling, they hide it in the walls, they hide it in mattresses, they hide it all over the place. So when the people come in, that they're masked and they're gun and they have pistol whipping someone, where's the money? We gave you 25,000 in cash. We gave you. Now they're not saying we, but we know that there's 50,000 here, or we know that there's more drugs here. And I don't know. So then maybe they find it in the ceiling. Maybe they don't find it. Maybe they rip out the mattresses and realize it's hidden there. Now a neighbor hears the commotion. A neighbor hears someone getting beaten. Maybe a neighbor hears a shot. The neighbor calls the police. The police respond. They walk in to the apartment on Chalkstone Avenue or in Cass Avenue or wherever. They walk in and the place is ripped apart. And what does the homeowner say? I think they were trying to steal my TV. Really? That flat screen TV? Yeah. I think that's why they came in here. Oh, anything missing? I'm not sure if there's anything missing. Now, what were they looking for? Yeah, I don't know. I think they wanted my TV. So you don't have any large amounts of cash? No, we don't have any cash. You don't have any large amounts of drugs here? Listen, you were a victim here. Your friend there was pistol whipped. They fired a shot. They broke in. You're a victim here. If you're dealing drugs, we're not going to bust you for. We want no. I don't know why. I think they were trying to steal my flat screen. So you mean to tell me 5 guys with hoods on and armed broke into this apartment to steal a $250 flat screen TV that's still on your wall? Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it. I don't think they could get it off. Then why did they ransack it? Yeah, we can't figure it out either. So my point is they don't cooperate with the police. So the person that showed up at the hospital last night, yeah, I don't know what it was. So where were you when you got shot? Yeah, I was down at Kennedy Plaza. And next thing I know, this guy just came up, and it was very frightening. And yeah, he shot me in the leg. Shot me. Folks, this portion of the program, these are some of the things that law enforcement have to deal with. This portion of our program is brought to you by Watson Materials, largest selection of landscape materials in Rhode Island, South County Trail. Call Watson Materials today. And what I like about their Facebook page is you really get a sense of what an improvement they could make on the outside. My goodness, your outdoor spaces. Watson Materials, the most complete selection of landscape materials in Rhode Island. You can request a quote at 401-885-0600. Landscape lighting, pavers, retaining walls, natural stone, cobblestone, decorative stone. Watson Materials. Look for them on Facebook. Their website is watsonmulch.com. But whether it's outside of your pool area or out in the back or the walk, Watson Materials, the most complete selection of landscape material in Rhode Island. Landscape Supply Center is Watson Materials. Well, folks, good afternoon at 1:45. Again, I'm just shedding, that's the type of thing that police deal with. As if someone would, 4 guys with hoods or masks and handguns break into somebody's apartment at 4:30 in the morning to try to steal somebody's flat screen TV that you could get, somewhere for $300, $250. No, that type of thing goes on. And then now you had 3 children and you had gunfire last night. So who knows? Sounds like something went wrong. We did have video of someone. A lot of times, as Eric was explaining from the command center, they want to secure the scene. So anybody that's there, they're not exactly sure what's going on. So they detain them until they get a handle on the scene. But this type of thing. Now in Smithfield last night, we have video of that. Route 44, it was right around 6:30. Vehicle stopped, and then let me think. That was guns drawn in Smithfield last night. I do have more of the details, but police approached that vehicle. I was speaking with an eyewitness on the scene, and all hands were out the window, guns drawn, 6 cruisers on scene, 2 males, 1 female. Yep, Route 44, Putnam Pike, right near A&W and Navigant. 3 suspects already in the cruiser, 2 arrested, and that was a guns drawn situation. So, listen, as I have told you, that this is a situation where the crime, as I've explained, is spreading to the suburbs. Boy, that Route 44 in Smithfield, I mean, it's the buildup is nice, and they've done some nice things over there, and it's built up nicely. But first of all, you had the guy robbed millions in jewelry from the Dave's parking lot over there, and then now something was going on. As I've told you, as crime increases, it it's like water. It spreads out to the suburbs, and that's what you're seeing right now. That's why I believe that law and order is one of the bigger issues that we are dealing with right now. I think there's been a breakdown in law and order. I mean, obviously in the country, I think the governor of Texas busing a lot of the migrants up to get them out of Texas. Let some other people. For all the people saying, "Oh, there's no problem with an open border." Hey, spread it around a little bit. See if you feel that way once they start to hit your area. And folks, in Rhode Island, Governor McKee, as I've told, he continues to put people at risk he makes the state a magnet. So I am encouraged that Patricia Morgan, good for her, has finally broken through, regardless of how she makes out in this race against Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. It's the first time someone running for office in the 401 has ever posted a billboard about the border. Now, she says close the border. I mean, again, I'm not trying to, I want to support her. I'm concerned about the borders, as I said, Westerly to Woonsocket. The more that Governor McKee makes us a sanctuary state, the more you're going to see crime spread. And as I've told you, many of the people that Governor McKee encourages to come in and that they lure here, they're from third world countries. For many years, yes, you have foreign students that come into our country. You have students from all over the world that attend Brown, but the ones that are going there are some of the smartest from their countries. You have students from all over the globe that go to Harvard, go to MIT, go to our elite universities. But again, they're some of the smartest and wealthiest from their countries. What Governor McKee is doing is saying, send us the people that he's luring here are not educated. Many of them need tremendous resources. They live in third world conditions. And guess what? When they come here, they're taking their third world habits with them, just like what's going on in Springfield with the pets. 25, 30,000 Haitians, you plop them down in Springfield. And by the way, that's not, when they cut off JD Vance, that's not a legal process that they're following. That's not right at all. Why should they have to carry the burden of that? And then you have it, locally, as far as a lot of the people when they come in. So it's not your imagination. When you bring in large numbers of individuals from third world countries, they take their habits with them, and they bring their third world country habits to our country. And that's what's happening with Rhode Island. And they are diverting money um, to the migrants and the illegals in the different states. Even on 60 Minutes last night, he was saying the numbers have tripled since you people took over. And it's very simple. Elon Musk is right. You've seen it in Rhode Island. David Cicilline did it when he was mayor of Providence, then congressman. And that is you bring people in to replace the voters of the people that are here. There are people that said, I'm tired of what's going on in Providence. I'm tired of the failing schools. I'm tired of the high taxes. I'm tired of all these various things. And Cicilline would say, well, if you don't like it, you can move out. And so they would move out. And what would he do? He'd bring illegals in and they'd fill the places. And they'd either fill out a mail ballot for them and what did those people do? They didn't complain. They were just glad to be here. And then he passes the buck that everybody else has to pick up the slack. Folks, this portion of our program, I want to appeal to those. If you're thinking of getting a new kitchen or bathroom, contact my friends at Dreammaker, 401 433 7272. Dennis and Christina, they are the people that you would love to have design your kitchen or bath. They are so talented right there on Greenwich Avenue, Warwick. So as you're listening right now on this Tuesday, and maybe you have been thinking that you want to upgrade your kitchen or bathroom, Dream Maker. Call them 401 433 7272. Give them a chance to pitch the business for your kitchen or bathroom. Their design center, it's right next to Kachai. It's right near Crown Plaza. Dream Maker. They take you from concept to completion. Remember, respect, integrity, customer focus. I've heard so many stories of people that they go with someone to do their kitchen. It takes 5 times longer than they thought. It's not coming out the way they wanted. They get things wrong. They're told it would take 3 weeks. It takes 3 months. They're told it would take 5 weeks. It takes 5 months. It's more expensive. You're not going to get that with Dream Maker. And it's a work of art. Enhancing lives, improving homes. Dream Maker, bath and kitchen. Well, folks, good afternoon. This is the real news on this Tuesday. It's hard to believe. Look at the election is 4 weeks from today. Now, with the storm down in Florida, who's going to get a lot of FaceTime is going to be Governor DeSantis is going to get a lot of FaceTime. And what do? You see someone that is buttoned up. You see someone that is prepared for the job. You see someone who is serious. And you see someone who's not fielding phone calls from the vice president who is not in the mix. As Governor DeSantis said, I deal with the president of the United States, not the vice president. We've had all these storms. I've never dealt with the vice president before. I think that's very telling. And where is Governor McKee? He's at the National Governors Association in Philadelphia, still on his 2-week vacation. What an embarrassment. He's an ineffective leader. Business people, as I have also said, business people like to do business with people that they find credible, reputable. Governor McKee, the Rhode Island governor, he surrounds himself with lowbrow, there's a sleaze factor to them. They're always hitting up people for money. They're not serious people. They're no one that you'd really want to do business with. And as a result of that, the CEOs of the top companies in the state are deciding to pack it in, and they're ready to move over the border and go to Massachusetts. And I know that voters have a lot of complaints about Governor Healy, but Governor McKee is like an absentee governor. He is. And let's face it, one thing Massachusetts has is they have Boston. And under Governor McKee, you have a failing Providence school system. All the illegals and migrants continue to flood into Providence. He has done, in a short amount of time, a pretty good job of doing just very consequential damage to the state. Now, keep in mind, Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee, he took over in March of 21. And now, if this had been a normal 4-year term, there's no way he would have got elected. But The real story is he doesn't know what to do to try to get Hasbro to stay. And they're not kicking the tires. They took Massachusetts and Boston. They took it for a spin around the block, and it must have felt pretty good. And he doesn't have a clue about the bridge. And now he's hiding from the media. And there's so many things. The healthcare system is imploding. But I believe there should be retribution for the members of the media that continue to protect and hide this incompetent guy. And they try to downplay everything. Oh, it's only 10 minutes to get over the bridge. It has affected the life, the lifestyle, the quality of life of everyone because of that bridge. Folks, this portion of our program, remember, for propane, call Propane Plus in Rhode Island, 401 885 4209, and in Massachusetts, 508 252 3359. Propane Plus, heating and cooling. You can depend on Propane Plus. Check out their website, propaneplus.com, residential or commercial. Put in your zip code, boom, get an instant quote. Propane Plus for all your heating and cooling. Well, folks, good afternoon. On this Tuesday, this does seem to be a very, very serious storm that's going to be hitting Florida. Now, the other thing about that is it's going to dominate news coverage. And it truly sounds like a monstrous storm, unless somehow it veers off. Right now, they're talking about a serious Category 5 storm that could decimate the Tampa area and other parts of the state. And then who knows, once it starts to move up. The element of that is the Harris campaign that I'm sure they'd like to they're trying to convince voters. She's still trying to sell herself with these media appearances. You don't turn it on quickly like that. And as I've said, what minds is she going to convince? If you watch Stephen Colbert, you're already voting for Harris. If you watch Jimmy Kimmel, you're already voting for Harris. At this point, as much as it saddens me to say, if you're still listening to Howard Stern, and I was a big Stern fan, but you can't anymore. If you're still listening to Stern, you're already voting for Harris. She's not gaining any new voters. She's not gaining any independent voters. And as far as 60 Minutes, there's like some clips floating around, but it's not what it was. The only thing of consequence that would get a lot of eyeballs would be another debate. But she has ABC to blame for that. David Muir and Lindsay Davis, especially that Lindsay Davis. I'm big on that you should be able to get up there and defend yourself. Debates should have consequences. And you tell a lot from the debates. Look at J.D. Vance. But if I were the Trump campaign, why walk into another trap? That Lindsay Davis of ABC, she was biased. It was 3 against 1. She had an agenda. Why put yourself into that? President Trump would be foolish to do that, and I don't believe he's going to do it. Now, folks, remember on 159 on this Tuesday, I also want to remind you, Rhode Island Guns and Ammo, Post Road in Warwick. Stop it and see George. You have the right to protect your family and your employees. Rhode Island Guns and Ammo. Well, listen, that's going to do it. Yes, we'll be doing Road Patrol Live later. Check out the website, dpetro.com. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Great job by JR. We're back on the radio tomorrow at 11. Road Patrol Live later. Stay tuned for the 2 o'clock news.